Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Rahima Barber. I'm the Director of Curatorial Affairs here at the Kalamazoo Institute of Arts. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce this evening's speaker. I have a little bit that I'm going to read, but I have to tell you the way that this show came about. First, please allow me to thank Miss Joy Light, who has underwritten exhibitions like these throughout the years and really been such a staunch supporter of bringing the very best of Asian art to Kalamazoo and to the Kalamazoo Institute of Arts. So I'd like to just give a round of applause. But the way this show came was our esteemed director, Michelle Hargrave, she had a vision for bringing Future Now to the Kalamazoo Institute of Arts. And if you have not seen that phenomenal show that came from the Bottom Museum of Art, you must see it. And basically, it was a design show. And I was like, this is something different and new for us. We haven't done design very much since I've been here for about 7 years. And I said, well, why don't we kick off this sort of series of looking at design as an art form with this amazing graphic designer, Taekyeom Lee, who I have had the pleasure of knowing for several years. In fact, the full disclosure, he was my GA, my graduate assistant, too many years ago. And when I was working with Taekyeom, he was just such a delight to work with. He really helped elevate the program that I was in charge of. And he really took the vision that I had and made every design was like unique and special. And it just went from one level to the next. And so when I started thinking about how we could sort of do a soft launch into looking at design as an art form, I knew that I wanted to bring Taekyeom and introduce him to our community because he has done something really, really unique with design. He's really focusing on design as something that can be tactile as far as graphic design, and also thinking about how those with vision impairment can experience the form of the 3D form of design and art. So that being said, I'm going to read just a little bit about him, and then we're going to get started with this really exciting program. He's going to talk about his work and then also do a demonstration for us. So Taekyeom Lee is a distinguished interdisciplinary graphic designer and visionary design educator known for his innovative integration of emerging technologies into visual communication design. He is currently an associate professor of graphic design at Indiana University Bloomington. His research explores unconventional materials and alternative solutions to create tangible typography, graphics, and even design objects using digital fabrication. He infused 3D printing into his research and has been experimenting with various methods and materials for tactile experiences. And I will just say that this is really a special pleasure and treat because he lectures all over the world about his practice. And I am so pleased and really just thrilled to welcome Taekyeom Lee.
Thank you, Rima, and thank you everyone for having me. Thank you for being here as well. And maybe you might be curious about what it's doing. So it's a 3D printed slinky. So I have one here too. So you can actually play with it soon. So actually, I am a graphic designer and teach graphic design as well. So to be honest, I don't have any degree in ceramics or engineering or anything. But I'm going to walk you through my journey into this new area. And I have approximately 100 slides, but it has full of images and videos. So I'm going to just fly you through. First of all, anyone can read it? 안녕하세요. So it means hello in Korean. And I'm originally from Korea, and I know my name is not always easy, and don't feel bad because even Korean people make mistakes as well. So probably the easiest way to say is like technology tech or tic tac. That would be actually good. And even I ask my student, like they don't have to call me Professor Lee, or because Lee is too many, and actually the pronunciation is supposed to be E actually, but it's okay. This is my father's shop in Korea, and he's now retired, and actually he cannot stay away from car because he is actually teaching at a driving school. So my grandfather was an air mechanic during the Korean War, and both my grandparents, grandmoms, they're all farmers actually. But my parents are boomers, and I'm the first generation college student, and I'm the only one in higher education and art and design as well. Although I didn't end up with anything mechanical or engineering, but you're gonna see a little bit of influence there. But by the way, because I'm in higher education, also first generation college students, I really strongly believe in education. So it was part of my graduate thesis project. They are all ceramic tiles, and as you can see, I'm obsessed with typography. You can actually get to see this book has the ceramic cover, and this one has all the explorations I've done with those found objects. Actually, I have weird idiosyncrasy. I actually like to collect little items. So the exploration was collecting the items, mostly unwanted and abandoned items, and actually turn it into letter form. And as you can see, there is some transition to ceramic materials. And at that time, nothing was made by machine. So I did everything by my hands, cast everything, fire everything, glaze it, and actually learned how to work with ceramics through I took one elective ceramic course in Korea when I was undergrad. And I took ceramics class at the University of Wisconsin, not Wisconsin, sorry. That's where I used to teach. University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. So I'm going to just skip this part, but my research is about unconventional materials and other solutions to create typography and many other things. So this is actually my DIY machine, and as you can see, it's writing a letter, a word, L-O-V-E, love, and literally I started using clay as ink. So about a decade ago, in 2015, I started making ceramic 3D printers, DIY. Actually, I didn't create everything from the scratch. So I actually used open source project and then customize it and build it. And at the beginning, it wasn't really easy. That was my very first print, but I was very excited because actually I can make something out of it. It took I think about 3 to 6 months properly assemble the DIY printer and printing something. But I was able to make those different designs and etc. So actually, I get into 3D printing because when I graduated, I lost access to all the ceramic facility, and to continue work with the ceramic material, actually there was a DIY printers. People started printing ceramics. So I thought maybe I can do that as well. And if I have those machines, I can work with ceramics in my apartment. That was actually the goal. And eventually I actually designed all the nodules for the clay, and also built DIY with like large scale machines as well. In a nutshell, so like as you can see at the bottom center, you can see screws and the nodule. Those are all 3D printed as well. 3D printing is also called rapid prototyping. So I designed my own screws and extruder and started testing different things. As you can see, like there is a number of it. I remember 62, version 62 was working. So I started printing clay after that. Also a little bit of technical part. I have two different designs. One is using using the stepper motor, and the another one, my original design, is actually using the air compressor. So air compressor is kind of extruding clay, and the screw, like pasta machine, is controlling the feed. So for example, if I draw uppercase A, draw an outline, pause the extrusion, and move the nozzle and resume the extrusion. So I can actually control the extrusion more precisely. This is the largest machine I have ever built, 5 foot tall, and you can see like how big it is. How big is it? And I have to make it like 5 foot tall so I can clear actually the door of my office. This shows some precision of the ceramic 3D printing. I'm not actually printing any special clay. This is porcelain clay. As you can see, the nozzle is pretty tiny, but precision-wise, it's pretty good. And this is a time-lapse video of printing as well. So to be honest, I have to learn like how to design something like CAD, and like this machine is actually powered by Arduino. So I have to do a little bit of both mechanical parts and software parts as well, like some coding. The smallest cup I've ever printed, you can see there is a penny, so it's pretty tiny. And I have explored different designs. Again, like I like to work with the letter forms and graphic design, but also through working with these materials really opens my eye toward like tactility and materiality as well. Especially the ceramic is a really interesting material. You can see the color changes because it's a different glazing technique. So it's not like RGB or CMYK color, which we usually use in design. And there you can see the different range of colors. You can actually get to see some of those pieces in the gallery as well. A little behind the story about this one is, as I printing clay, wet clay, it can get collapsed during the printing process because it's so soft. And I also love this non-linear character of clay as well. So it has been collapsing, and I noticed actually collapsed piece has really interesting character there. So I called it collaboration with gravity. That became the title. So what I did is I print everything nicely and started collapsing everything to create different forms as well. And everything has a little bit different unique form, and also it doesn't really feel like ceramic at all. And it's using glazing technique called directional spraying. So spraying 2 different colors from 2 different directions. So based on the direction, you will see different colors, like this one spinning it. And also it shows my color palette as a designer as well, like using complementary colors, really bright, pink and red, matching with, green and blue. This was my very old office. Often people think if it's machine made, the machine will do most of the stuff. But as you can see, machine is running. I have to move around quite a bit. Also, I need some babysitting of the machine as well, because it doesn't know actually what it's doing exactly. So before printing, after printing, I have to do almost everything. It was 2022, and I really believe in the open source and sharing the knowledge and information. I had the artist in residency at the Internet Archive. Have you used the Wayback Machine? Internet Archive, archive.org. So I actually have a residency there, and like sitting there and putting together all the machines and like documented the process. And also some of I found it in their archive, found the book about Korean ceramics, which is published in 1950 or 60, and actually traced the design and actually printed it, because in our archive, they're so good at like digitizing the data, but how can we bring the digital data back to the reality? So actually wanted to experiment with that, and also like created a list of the supplies and the videos, so actually people can build it. A couple years later, I actually received the email from a civil engineering student in Canada. Actually, I followed your plan and then built a printer as well, and actually sent me the photo. That was actually made me really super happy. So technically, if you want, you can replicate this machine as well if you follow those steps. So this is probably the most complex piece I've ever printed, and my GoPro ran out of battery, so it stops here. But you can also find this piece there as well. I really challenges the how to make something we are not able to make with our own hands, because our hands is a really good tool, but it cannot make everything. Maybe we can make ceramic piece like this complex one, but how much time we need, skill building, etc. So this is actually made to build the 3 pieces, but they're all interlocking inside as well. So you can see what I mean by the resumed extrusion and paused extrusion. It kind of has to be very precise. This is a 3D design, and also the 3D printer needs something called G-code, and it needs X, Y, Z coordinate. Like think about the navigation. It tells you go straight, stop, turn right, turn left as well. So 3D printer also needs those kind of information. So it needs X, Y, Z value, and also something called E. E is for extrusion. So that's how it knows how to print it. And this print needs approximately 285,000 lines of code. So we don't have to know how to process it, but we know the principle and how to create it. This is me handling the design. So they're all nicely fired. So I have to be very cautious when I pick it up, pick it up nicely and put it into the kiln. And then after fired, I can handle it in the hands, and it's pretty strong, I think. And explore different letter forms and designs, and they all in different languages as well. They're all fired. Actually, maybe you can read some. There is a Chinese, Japanese, and even Arabic and Korean there as well. They're all fired in kiln, like bisque fire, glaze fire. I have used stoneware, earthenware, porcelain, and everything, but actually I like porcelain quite a lot, and they're all mid-range porcelain, which is fired at cone 6. If you took ceramics class, probably you know. This clay body vitrified at 2232 Fahrenheit. And ceramic material is very sustainable because if I don't fire it, I can just put it into the water and I can reclaim it, print again. This is actually the video. I rewind put the 4D letter into this, and then it did slowly dissolve. And this one is also the exploration with printing a sentence in 3-dimensional space with clay. Can anyone guess what it says? Wow. It's hard, but so I'm going to reveal the answer. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. It's really hard to read. So in graphic design and typography, there is a poetic metaphor called crystal clear. So what it means is good typography could be crystal clear, like Beatrice's word, poetic metaphor, which means if you put something into the crystal goblet, it's so clear you can see it, right? So it should be that transparent, easy to understand. But as fine typography often disappears, because good design, if you notice some sign and everything, if it's really working well, you don't notice that. Actually, if it's really bad design, you notice really well. So typography also playing a supporting role, but also it's called invisible art. However, I believe typography shows its physical substance in the real world. It was actually, I think, 2000, I forgot exactly, 2017. Actually, some of my video went viral with millions of views and thousands of comments. But actually, I found actually some interesting comments here. So someone actually says, that's not really art. It's a fast way to create something, rather than a proud artist would take months or years to create. Art is subjective. Art in this is the engineering work and the reflection of today. What about computer animation and graphic design? No soul, no emotion, just information from our brain. A machine does not adapt to emotion. Da Vinci would definitely use a cordless drill if he has been able to get hold of one. Technology doesn't dilute art, we do. So actually that's really interesting comment as well, because I'm a designer, but also I made the machine and the machine makes something. So we cannot call it art because the machine made it, but can I call the machine art because I made it by my own hands? So it's actually raised a really interesting question about it as well. And now if I think about, the computer and AI, what Da Vinci might do? We haven't met him, but like we can actually guess. I don't think he's not gonna say no to these technologies because he was so keen at new things as well. So, but actually, this conversation really gave me something to think about. But why ceramics? Rihima briefly mentioned, but when I was in graduate school, actually I had a retina detachment, which is an emergency that need prompt, medical treatment to save the vision. So one day I see the shadow in my vision and went to the eye doctor, and he says, it's already detached and I need a surgery. So I went to the ER that night, and then later it detached again. So actually I went through the face down recovery, which is, it's a little scary. So they put the gas bubble in my eyeballs. I have to do face down like this 24/7 for about 3 months actually. I was 29, I think. So like it was miserable. And I took a semester off. Let me skip it. And then when I came back to school, I needed therapy. I just want to stay away from what I used to do. So I actually took a ceramics class and actually really liked it. And I said, it's going to be my retirement plan. But like I still needed 30 more years. But my classmate says, why you have to wait until your retirement? Because you're in the ceramic studio, and like, why not? After a week, and I emailed my thesis advisor, said, I want to change my thesis topic. 3 months before my graduation. So 3 months before my graduate thesis exhibition, actually. So go back to the beginning. That's how everything happened. So I started working with the ceramic material and etc. The another reason is also the historical reason. So these are all the stems. Actually, the clay is first material humans have used to engrave something or print something, actually. There is a cylinder seals. You can actually find it in the British Museum, the Met, and almost everywhere. They made in Mesopotamia around 3500 BC, and you carve the patterns on the cylinder. When you roll it on the wet clay, you can actually print or actually make an impression on it, on clay, wet clay. So this was actually a high-tech printing technology of the time. There's no paper, there is no ink, there is no computer. So actually there was a printing technique. Inspired by that, I made this 3D printed embosser, which has a positive, negative side. When you put a paper, you can actually print it. You can actually find the embossers in the gallery as well. It went through several iterations, and I even forgot how much version number here. But they're all designed in CAD and then refined, and now this is actually the latest version. I have made different designs for different events, different occasions, and different languages as well. One day I got tired of putting the paper, so actually put into the toilet paper. So like it comes with perforated paper, and then actually I can use it. Maybe next one I need to put a motor and electrify it. We'll see. Also, you might have a question about the slinky as well. And a short story is actually when you 3D print, if the layer doesn't bond, fused together, you can break it. And things happened as well. And actually, I thought about how I can possibly use it. And during the COVID time, I wasn't able to work with ceramics because I cannot fire it. So I started printing plastic like clay, like much thicker. And I noticed like, oh, maybe I can actually use it and intentionally cause a layer separation and printing spiral like a spring. So I can actually make this slinkies. And there's a more technical part, but I'm gonna skip it for now. But there's actually love, L-O-V-E. Can you see the letter form is changing there? So like I'm experimenting with the letter forms here. It's my office, but I have to work with my students, working on different everything. Email, I got silly and I tried to put it into my hair. Maybe it can be some product as well. It was actually last year I have an exhibition in Seoul, and when you got silly and then lose your mind, and then you can actually use different ways as well. Even you can do this as well, like maybe better not to do this in gallery though. So it's a good transition. I always like to play with different techniques and materials as well. This is probably the most exciting demos in my class, printing peanut butter and Nutella chocolate on bread. So actually edible. Just cleaning the nozzle and printer was a little tricky, but absolutely it was a blast. This is a $150 dental vacuum former, and I can make some mold out of it and make some jellies and chocolates and etc. And makes during the COVID time, make soap and also make cast candles, etc. as well. You can actually find some beeswax candle in the gift shop. And when you actually burn it, actually because of the different geometry, it became it shows some interesting color, interesting shapes. When I was in North Carolina, my colleague has some local clay, and then he allowed me to dug up some clay, and then actually I fired the local clay. I don't know exactly what's in it though. So you can actually see the red, the earthenware, that's the before firing, and then it went through the gas kiln, so content reduction fire, which take the oxygen out of the clay body, and that's why I changed the colors to that, because it loses the oxygen out of the clay body. Do you know actually how to process the local clay? Anyone have worked with it? I will describe it quickly. So once you have a clay, you soak it under water and then like screen it. After that, put some more water and agitate it. Wait 5-10 seconds. What happens is sand is heavier than clay, so it's separate. So you drain the top. Put some more water, agitate it, keep draining the top, so you can actually separate the clay and sand. So like, and then put it into pillow and then like hang it, and then you're gonna actually get the fine local clay out of it. So actually gravity is really interesting in this case. So when I 3D printing wet clay, the gravity was actually one of my challenge and my enemy to fight with. But in this case, actually gravity became my ally. So because it helped me with a lot of manual labor. This was a rockwood fire, and if you know what's rockwood fire, it's kind of put it into the kiln, glowing it hot, and then take it out, put it into the dumpster with some like newspaper and etc. It's gonna have a unique, reduction fire, but it's a toxic. So like you cannot drink something out of it, but touching it and other things will be fine. But because of that, it has very different, interesting colors. These are actually, not every design can be homemade. I mean, printed at home with the DIY machine. So I have to send the designs to a company called Shapeways to print steels and nylon or more complicated shapes like this. And this is a ring I designed and actually have a uppercase I and make a Möbius strip out of it. So letter form is actually hidden in the ring. But to design those, actually there's a math behind it. And to be honest with you, I hated math when I was in school. I hated it. But later I realized, science and math is quite important. And this one is actually using the sine curve. And this sine curve is, can you see the little point there? So I can divide the points. If there are more points, the line is much smoother. There's less point. This is more jagged. And actually use those sine curve and parameters, in this case, to design different shapes. And if I became more, it's a bit more complicated. This one is by the way, this is called grasshopper for rhino. So you can actually code things using parameters by connecting those the node together, and you can actually design various different shapes. This is also different printing exploration as well. Instead of printing planar, layer by layer, actual nozzle is moving up and down and then creating like wave patterns here. And as you noticed on the screen, so I have to code things. So like actually adding some noise. So nozzle is always moving up and down to create these textures. And this is also, I didn't code this one, but you can see the pattern. So this is called infill pattern. So 3D printing does need some kind of shape inside, like our building too. Like we cannot just build the ceilings. They need some kind of structure underneath. There was a San Francisco-based startup company called Lightform. Unfortunately, they are out of business now. So the device is actually, you can scan the surface and then add a projection on it. So I use a 3D printed letter form and then project on it. So add another dimension. So it became interactive. This is a collaboration with my friend at Rice University and his student. So this is visualization of the global temperature data over 150, actually 60 years. From January to December, and it's kind of spiraling, goes up. And this was actually printed with temperature sensitive material, 3D printed, obviously. And can you see the color changes from the bottom, the pink? And actually the hummingbird was there when I taking the video. So like this one is kind of going up. You can obviously see the global temperature going up from bottom to top. My friend Marisa also introduced the material called, she is a metalsmith, introduced material called PMC, precious metal clay. So it's made out of fine copper, and also there's silver and gold as well. And when you shape the design and fire it, it became pure copper, pure metal. So we actually printed it with my machine and tumble it and polished it, and then actually became rings and different jewelries as well. And I actually got a commissioned work. I designed the beer tap handle, which is 3D printed as well. And it's using typography there. So I took it and actually fabricated custom handles. One day I noticed like maybe I can make some drawing tools. I used to teach drawing, but I'm not good at drawing anymore. But this is actually the spinning top. So you can put a Sharpie or Crayola markers, and I designed the launcher. So when you put it, like it will make some drawings out of it. And then I made hundreds of them and make a book. By the way, if you want, you can actually print it as well. And I share the file online, so if you download it, you can do it. This is a washable marker, so don't worry. So if your kids or someone make mess out of it, it is okay. And taking photo of those ceramic pieces are also interesting as well. And like these are kind of seeing through the internal structure of the design. And this one is actually where I sent the work to for exhibition in England. And when I got back, it's just broken. Can you see? But it actually that looked like a bat or a ghost or something, right? And then when I see through, it looks something like this. So like maybe a cave and like Batman, I don't know. So actually try to take something out of it as well. So you can, that's the book you can find in the gallery too. So I took a bunch of photos and put things together. And I'm bilingual. So this is actually the font design I made using Korean consonant vowels and then create English typeface. You can actually install it on your computer too. So if you can read both Korean and English, you're gonna have a brain freeze for a second because this font is actually made to highlight the bilingual experience. A couple of years ago, I was invited to write a chapter for Thinking with Type, which is one of the best-selling textbook and typography book in the world. So we, with my colleagues, Yeohyun An and Moon Jung Jang, and we actually wrote a chapter about Korean typography. And that says 안녕. You can actually also find it in the gallery as well. It means hi and bye. So you can actually use it for both occasions. In my class, actually, I taught them how to write their names in Korean as well. And I have a little bit of transition here. So are you all visual person? I guess so. And I also think I'm a visual person as well. See, you're all looking at the screen right now. But because of my vision issue, actually left some vision problems. I'm still dealing with it. I can see it. I can still read it, but actually I can see the word differently. So actually vision is our most dominant sense, play a crucial role in every aspect and phases of our lives. although we often take it for granted because we all born with it, we haven't thought about living without vision actually. But without it, we would struggle to learn, walk, read, participate in school and work, everything. Actually, when I had the eye surgery, it was so scary actually, because what if I cannot see? And actually one day I had to drive with a single eye, and then I almost hit something because I don't have a proper, sense of distance. But actually, this is what we do. Actually took this photo in MoMA and love it, but please do not touch it. I totally understand why, but we don't really encourage touching something. There is a term called oculocentrism, which is a perceptual and epistemological bias ranking vision over other senses in Western culture. Seeing is believing, eye to eye candies, and I see. We are actually using those quite a lot. But vision impairment occurs when an eye condition affects the visual system and its function. Everyone at some point in their life will experience at least one eye condition that requires a proper care. I really, 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 really hope you're gonna have good vision. I hope you're not gonna need any surgeries and etc. But it could happen to anyone. And actually, if you can remember something from today's talk, like this is it. Vision impairment exists on a spectrum. It's not about seeing or not seeing. You are all in somewhere, and I'm on this spectrum as well. And what you're seeing is not what others are seeing. According to the Health Policy Institute, 8% of the US population and 18% of people aged 65 and older have visual impairment that cannot be corrected with glasses, contacts, medication, or even surgery. This is a book by Andrea Leaps and Ellen Lupton, who I admire. Visible texture add depth to printed pages and flickering screens. Designing for touch create a humane and inclusive world. So unfortunately, we cannot really magically understand each other. How can you possibly understand others' visual experience, especially for vision impaired users? Even I have different visual. I have been living with a cataract and double visions, etc. There's a glasses called vision simulator. So when you put it on, you can see how other people are seeing the world. So there is a low contrast and color blindness and muscular degeneration, cataract, etc. as well. So I teach a class called Graphic Design for Accessibility, and actually my students, most of them are 20s. They have no idea about what's vision problem. So actually they understand, how it feels like, and I'm traveling to host a workshop and also share my experience and let them, have a different perspective on accessibility as well, and wrote an article. This is not a perfect solution, but they provide the first-hand experience. Actually, I really like the English saying, fill different people's shoes. So you can actually, it's kind of gross, isn't it? It needs some kind of, you should be brave enough. But if not, if you don't jump into the pool, you cannot really understand how cold is it. So actually, this is kind of a good way to build empathy and understand what we are doing and how we can do better. So probably I think even this room, I'm sure, has a Braille as well. So I use my embosser to print the Braille and teach myself how to read it, bring it as a chit-sit, and then in the airport and other places, try to understand what it says. And also there is a different a paper called swell paper. So I'm going to show you soon, but this is a flat, but when it went through the heat applicator, special device, and it's also a special paper as well. And certain parts will swell, basically get the volume. So you became a tactile. Do you see it's flat, right? Only the black parts will. Okay, come on, I'll do it now. So NYPL and other places, actually, they have this machine to help with the vision impaired people, because you can read the text with Braille, but what if the graphic? So this can be used also help people with different. Do you see there is some bump there? Here we go. So this is a photo I took at the NC State University years ago. All design begins with the dance of life. Actually, I find it when I prepared this talk. I think I went through things, but I think that also all helped me with working with the design as well. And hopefully you're gonna find your own movement with your life as well. I'm sharing everything on my Instagram, so you can find it. Also, if I didn't include it here, you can find it there. If you have any questions, you're welcome to message me. Better to tell me, hey, I attended your talk at KIA, because I also get some random messages as well. That really helps. Okay, this is the last one. I traveled to Doha, Qatar, and this was my luggage. Can you see what? Can you guess what it is? They're all 3D printed ceramics, because I took a carry-on, but actually caught at the airport because what's in your bag? And art, ceramic. So it's kind of what happens. And then like at the airport, I was afraid of asking them because but actually hotel security also asked the same question. Then after seeing their screen, I noticed, wow, like it's so strange, because later also I noticed, oh, what I'm seeing is not actually what others are seeing. So our vision is not always perfect. Okay, thank you for being here today. Thank you for all the supporters of museum and exhibition and donors as well. Thank you.